My name is Elizabeth Pampalone of the Simplified Academy, and I want to share with you 10 things to do and not do in your email marketing this holiday season. So, a lot of times we kind of throw away this time because we think people maybe aren't paying attention, or maybe we try to push too hard on the sell. And I'm actually a member of a company that is called MailerLite. And if you've heard me speak about email marketing at all, I talk about MailerLite all the time. And they sent out a great email, which I'm going to kind of give you some of the points they showed and just kind of promote them a little bit because I love them. And they are the most inexpensive email marketing tool out there that has the best tools. So if you're not familiar with them, I'll put a link below and you can check them out. Very inexpensive, very easy to use, drag and drop, just great templates, the whole 9 yards. Is really great. So I'm going to share with you a little bit from their email that they sent out today, and it was about the do's and don'ts of holiday email marketing. And one of the things they mentioned is to set the holiday mood. When you're actually setting the mood, not just using stock photos like here's a tree or here's a glittery GIF that has tree in it, like all those kind of cheesy looking things. Find something that really represents your brand, and it could be in a stock photo system like Pexels, which is free. Unsplash, I'll put some of those below as well, some of my favorites. But make sure it's on brand. You don't want to just do something just because it's Christmassy or just because, it has a certain holiday feel to it. Make sure that it's on your brand. The next thing is make sure you're thinking about mobile. Mobile is super important. If you design your email with sidebars and multiple columns across, make sure that it's going to look okay on mobile. One of the things that MailerLite does is they give you an option to view your email before you send it in a mobile phone. And it shows you how it's going to flow with the columns. So, the most left side column is going to go first, and then the middle column is going to go second, and then the rightmost column is going to go third. So it gives you that preview and shows you how it's going to flow and how it's going to move down. And it shows you also the desktop version. So it's really great to see that and be able to know, is what you did okay, or does it look funny, or is it in the wrong order? So just make sure that you're building your email marketing campaigns for mobile. And if your email marketing campaign system doesn't have a mobile option, make sure you at least send it to yourself first and view it on your phone. The next thing is let the subject lines show what is inside the email. A lot of times people forget, sometimes I've done this, to change the tagline, so to speak. And at the top of every email, typically you'll see a little tiny header line, and it actually shows as the preview line when people have their previews turned on for their emails. So when you go to Gmail and you see the name of the sender, the subject line, and then there's that very lightly gray text right before the date, kind of in between the subject and the date. That's usually the preview line. Or maybe you're on your phone. You see the sender and then the subject line, and then there's some light gray text underneath that shows you preview. And that you can actually make your subject line short so that it fits, on a phone or in a subject line section of an email. But then you can use that header line to really describe a little bit more and give a little more detail. So you don't have to try and shove everything into the subject line. So make sure you're looking at those pre-header lines. And sometimes the pre-header lines are actually used, they use the first line of your email. So just kind of see what your system does and make sure that it's going to describe what's in the email a little better than maybe the subject line does, or at least expand on it. The fourth thing is to use urgency to help conversions. And a lot of email marketing systems these days actually have countdown systems, which I love. So MailerLite has a new countdown feature, and I've used it in a couple of emails, and it really does help with conversion because when people see there's only X number of days left to do this, X number of hours for this special price, it's really, really helpful, especially for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So be watching for some of my emails if you're interested to see how I'm going to be using it. And then, I'm going to be having a Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sale. So please, check out that, and you can see how I've used that similar countdown to utilize for my conversions. The fifth thing, halfway through, the fifth thing is to not promote your products, but motivate your buyers to buy. And so your customers to buy. And this is something that I think is really, really interesting. It's all more about psychology. It's more about the relationship you're building with your customer. It's not just about, you saying, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's about, why would you need this? Or here's something I'm going to present to you and then you can decide, not shoving it in their face. You need this now, that kind of thing. They have some really great visuals for this in the MailerLite email. And you can actually find this MailerLite email. I'm going to send you guys the link to their blog post that they sent out in their email. So you guys can see the same things I saw, and they have some really great visuals there. Number 6, send proactive emails. So it should be a two-way street. You want to communicate with your customers. You don't want to just chat at them or kind of yell at them sometimes. And so you can use this time to create a survey. Maybe it's a 2-question survey. Short question surveys get done more likely than you would have like a 10-question survey. Also, if I can pick through things really fast and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, or yes, no, pick from these 5 options, those kinds of surveys, multiple choice surveys, are much easier to do than like essay type surveys where, what do you think? Here's a big box. Tell me all about it. And so it's much easier to get people to do those ones that are a little bit quicker. So you're trying to get people to give you feedback during this time would be a great way to reach out to them without really just pushing something in them in sales. Number 7, create automation and enjoy the holidays. So I am very big into automation, and I'm going to be not in the office during Thanksgiving, but I'm going to have a Black Friday sale and a Cyber Monday sale. So how would I do this? You can actually use your email marketing system, whether it's MailerLite or not. Typically, they all have an automation section. I know some of them charge a little extra for that, but definitely it's worth it. You want to make sure that when you do automation, that you're setting it up so that you're putting it out at the right times. You can also do A/B testing, where you're putting it out at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock to see which one does better, or you're putting it out in the morning and then also in the afternoon and seeing which one does better. So just kind of giving you some different ideas for your automation, but set it up now before Thanksgiving, and then you'll be able to just breeze through the holidays, maybe see some sales roll in while you're on vacation. The next one, number 8, like I said, try different sending times. So that's kind of one of their options, but I actually didn't mention that. So trying something that's, like I said, morning and evening, morning and afternoon, 9 a.m., 11 a.m., depending on what your customers normally do. Number 9 is to say thank you. A lot of people forget that their customers are the reason that they're in business. Their customers are the reason they have a job. And we need to remember to thank those customers, especially the ones that are really keeping us afloat sometimes. And so this holiday, if you have a chance to just write a really heartfelt note, sometimes it's even better than, a gift that they may not really use or need or whatever. So if you have that time and the opportunity to just write something to your customers and tell them what they mean to you, I think they'd really appreciate that. And I found that that's really helped my business over the years when I feel like maybe my customers don't know that I appreciate them, and I just want to remind them, hey, I really appreciate that you're doing business with me, and that we're in this together. So remember that. And number 10 on their list was actually A/B testing, which I mentioned. So sending things with different subject lines, sending them at different times, trying different formations of your information, maybe putting something at the top in this one and putting it near the bottom in the next one, and that kind of thing. So just try some of these different things. I'm going to put a link to this article in the comments. I'm also going to put links to my favorite stock photo companies, and also a link to MailerLite, so you guys can check that out if it's something you want to look into, maybe for 2018. And I hope that you will stay tuned for more exciting stuff, and please do check out the feature section of Simplified Academy so that you can see exactly what kind of videos we've been posting in the Simplified Academy, and maybe it's something you'd like to try. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks.